Okay, I see. Oh, I've got a ping. Which one's Jasper? Jasper. I'll try and give you the most information I can with Dive, but Dive is the one that Tier 2 usually struggles with. Plainly off of comms. I say it's plainly off of comms. It's not off of comms, actually. It's off of people not knowing what to
Ready
do
for
with the
battle.
comms they're given. Comms are important, you can call the right things, but if the people listening to the comms don't know what to do with that music, with what they're being told, it's useless. You may as well not say anything. Um, a lot of dive comes down to you knowing your own characters, so knowing their engagement abilities, knowing how well they're going to be able to. I for Actually, I'll start again once I see people joining because um, okay, and quickly go back to my live stream that is live now, please. There we go. One person in here. And yeah, I'll just get started anyway, because people can always go back. We had 9 on the last one. Yeah. So, um, dive into the problem I see with dive. I don't think it's commonly seen because it usually just comes down to people going, "Our comms are bad with dive." Usually, it's not your comms are bad. Because realistically, all your monkey needs to say is diving Ash, top left, 3, 2, 1, and then he jumps. That's all your monkey has to call. And so, yeah, it's learning it's knowing your own character's engagements. So knowing stuff like with Sombra and Reaper, which I'm doubting you're going to stick on. But if you do stick on them, Reaper's TP time, how long it's going to take, because you want to be getting there practically as your monkey gets there. Same with D.Va boosters. Mac, you're not going to know this because you don't play much D.Va. But with D.Va, you need to take off a little bit before the monkey jumps to be able to get there when he lands. D.Va has to practically beat the monkey there because the DM is so valuable for keeping monkey alive when he gets there and eating the key cooldowns. Eating stuff like sleep and nade. Um, or in this case, coach gun and micro missiles, because they're for some reason running D.Va Orisa D.Va. When a dive defense on this kind of map is way better. But I don't.
Ready for
I hope
battle.
you'll probably you will defend at some point, and so when you defend, if you're running a divey defense, I'll talk you through that. If not, then I'll talk you through an Orisa comp because Orisa comp is still a very good thing to know. And also in tier 2, Orisa comp is usually more useful to be ran, or not more
Five,
useful, but usually
4,
better to be ran. Are
3.
you running zombie? Please no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not on this map. We'll see how it plays. Um, But I
1.
hope that you switch it off to a
Attackers
dive,
incoming.
because you're going to struggle on zombie on this
Stop
map.
the payload.
Zombie is like... So, a quick explanation for those that don't know. Zombie is a form of brawl. It's not a form of dive. It's a form of brawl. So it's like Rheincomp, but it runs into Orisa better than Rheincomp. So it's the main reason why it was created. But on a map that's dive orientated, Brawl is the worst decision you can go for. As I hope you don't know. And so here I'd either like to see you going on to a full-on dive with the Arna Brig, um, or with an Orisa comp and match them on Orisa and just outpoke them. Because realistically, what are they running? Ash Pocket Soldier. You can match You can go Ash Pocket Hanzo and beat them on spam. Hanzo is just better than Soldier in this comp. So you can run Ash Pocket Hanzo. And also, again, trying not to force Mac onto D.Va, you can run a Sigma as well. Orisa Sigma, playing here, I don't know why I'm bothering to talk you through this, but I will anyway. Playing here, you kind of don't want to walk in the stairwell because you'll get bullied. So there's two rotations you can take with Orisa Sigma on this map on attack. And a lot of people say you can't attack with double shield, but you really can. You can either rotate around this high ground, and especially considering if you're running into an Orisa, there's no Lucio on the other team. Don't go this way if they've got a Lucio. If they've got a Lucio, don't go this way because you will get destroyed. But you can walk up here, and you know they're gonna struggle. Like, you can play this corner. It's not a great corner to play, but you can walk up with Orisa Sigma, whereas they have to kind of hold the space. Another place I would say, actually I take that back. That's probably not a good place to fight because you've got a bit of low ground. If you're running Orisa Sigma on attack, come this way. Come up these stairs here. I don't know how many of you know that these stairs are here, but these stairs are extremely powerful. If you're running an Ana Brig on attack here, Ana Brig, go this way. Always. Ana and Brig on dive, on attack, go this way. Because you can heal all your team from here in this little stall phase. When the cart gets around the corner, you can rotate to this high ground. And in this room, nobody's diving you. A Brigitte in this room is the scariest thing ever for like a Lucio, for a Monkey, for anyone that might dive you, a Tracer. A Brigitte in this tiny room, you're not going into that. So yeah, you're fine here as an Ana Brig on attack. Same with Orisa Sigma. You can play this position once you've got both shields. Rotate over here, and then pull an Obi-Wan Kenobi on them. You know, I have the high ground. Yeah, whip out your Obi-Wan Kenobi saber. Just chop them in half. And realistically, if you're stood here and they're still here, they've lost. Where is their natural cover? Where is your natural cover? Everywhere. This is your natural cover. This ledge, this little ledge here, this is your natural cover. Because now they see me, now they don't. Now they see me, now they don't. I know I'm kind of talking like an idiot to you guys, or talking to you guys like you're idiots, but I don't know how much you know, and so I don't want to assume you know something and then you not know it, and it not make sense. If I explain it thoroughly, you all understand it, no matter what you know. And yeah, I basically don't point out good things, like playing zombie comp on this map. Anyway, let's get into it. Dynamite should have been eaten, wasn't eaten, it's okay. On zombie comp on this map, if you're going to run it, push cart, go underneath, go into this, it's a weird rotation, but go into this stairwell, go down here. Because if they're staying high ground, this is a really good place to push in from. You can get up here, speed up here, and up these stairs. If they're still here, they die. If they've rotated to here, they get run over. If they've backed up down to here, you're in this position. And you don't have... The point of a brawl comp, as you most probably know, is reducing the amount of space it takes. A good way to position in a brawl comp is positioning where it takes no space to get close to the enemy. Now, if they're playing above you here, that's fine. This position is fine. Here, Mac, you've been shot. I don't know if you've been shot in the back, but the dynamite's come out, and you've been hit in the back with the dynamite. Oops, too far back. So the Ash is still behind you. Nice DM, just protecting Chips there for a second. As soon as you get hit by that, yeah, there you go. Beautiful. You've got no DM left, but that is pressuring. And also, I didn't expect Chips to go with you. This is where an Ana is better, because your Ana would already be here. With the rotation that I've just given to your supports, your Ana would already be here, so you're diving back onto your Ana. You would already taken loads more space if you're on a dive than if you're on a well, I mean, I say that, but the first dive would be to there, but you've got your Ana there. So second dive, anyway, your supports are set up here for a second fight, and then once again your supports can set up here. And what I love about this position on Ana Brig is Brig boops are nasty up here. they're so punishing. Because you boop them this way, they either have to climb up the boxes, which is a lot of effort just to get back to a Brigitte who's probably going to boop you back down again, or they get chucked down all the way down here, and so your Brigitte is stood here. Just mainly talking for Jasper, because he did say he wanted to learn a bit of Brig, giving those Brig tips. Same with Saren, if you're comfortable on Ana. Walk without your Brig and call for your Brig. Like, if you're on Ana, speak to your Brig, and you control where you go. The Brig doesn't control where you go. You control where the Brig goes. The Brig follows the Ana, because the Brig is bodyguarding the Ana. And so, realistically, why would an Ana follow a Brigitte? It doesn't make sense. The Brigitte is bodyguarding the Ana. That, in a dive comp anyway. Yeah, so this is going to be a hard fight for you guys to win. You've got the low ground. I like taking the high ground here. I like backing up and taking the high ground. But realistically, if you came from this angle, one, you've got this doorway, so you can take a little bit of spam. Two, you can go up here and go across here. Realistically, this isn't a very good rotation to take, but it's an option. You can speed across here, and then a fight in here is beautiful. Chimps on monkey can sit here. I know sometimes hitting jumps like this are hard, but you can sit here and tickle into them, and they're going to rotate out. You can follow them, and the point of zombie comp is you use cooldowns to chase kills, chase for kills, not to engage. So using like a jump to engage is not how you play zombie, which you didn't. I'm not picking you up on something there. Cooldowns are used to find the kills and clean up kills. Oh, just quickly, you do know about this tap thing. So you heal him up, yeah, good. Actually, here I'd use an orb. Save your resource. It doesn't cost you anything to use an orb, other than a what 7-8 seconds cooldown. I say tap. I did give you the advice. I remember in the last one I did say tap. I don't think you fully know what I mean when I'm watching you do this. That isn't how you do it. So if you watch at the end here, I'll slow it down, because we'll watch it from Chip's point of view when you're done tap pissing on him. Okay, we'll watch it from here. Right, you stop. You've stopped here. He still managed to heal 60 health after you stopped healing him. So that's what I mean by tap. So you heal, and you can see as well, you can see that he glows yellow when he's, so when you start tapping it, you can see this little afterglow is him healing. That little yellow glow in the middle of him, that's him healing still. And so when I say tap it, you tap it, give it a second, tap again, and you heal up slowly. It's a good way to heal up chip damage. Just kind of tap, and also very good to juggle between damage and healing. I also don't know if you know this about Moira, but when you're on damage, if you like you're doing with the heal, not like you're doing with the heal now, if you do that with your damaging, you actually gain resource back faster. So if you really need resource, if you're running low on resource when you go into a fight, start off the fight by just tapping DPS, tapping the damage to gain your resources back quicker, and then you get to throw around your resources better. Also, if the fight goes on longer and you start running out of resources as it goes, when you're DPSing, you do the same amount of damage if you're tapping it, but you just heal. It feels like you do less, but you do the same amount. But you're just getting more healing back, and then you can keep healing up your tanks, and you can keep pushing on. Anyway, we've had one fight so far. We're 1 minute into this map, so yeah. Just kind of wait. There you go, like that, because you're forced to, because you got no resource. That is how you do it. And he's full health. He gets to full health much quicker than you'd expect. This is the problem with zombie on this map. It's a very high ground dominated map. I like that you're not wasting your resources. She should die. No, okay, she had. positive. Right, so I don't know what's happening here. I hope you engage with Coalescence. You should, and in this situation, if you're engaging with Coalescence, you can use the jump to get to them. You can use the jump to close the distance. Mac doesn't have mech. That is painful, especially against an Ashe and a Soldier, and a Diva, and an Orisa. But yeah, actually no, here, just I hope you wait for the max mech. And also, Saren, use your orbs instead of healing sometimes. If you get to about just below half healing resource, firstly go to the tapping. That always works. But if you have an orb off a heal orb off cooldown, let your team take a bit of spam. Use a heal orb because it costs you no resources. Costs you a little. It just costs you a small. Costs you a small cooldown.
Not ready.
See, this is a different comp to the Brawl, so I've already given you coaching on the Brawl. This is very different, so I've only done one map. Nice Coalescence, go into the room, good. Nice concentration. I want to see who was... Mac, were you shooting this lamp when it went down? I'm going to check everyone. Lamp goes down. Okay, yeah. Watch this engagement a few times, because the lamp is the important. As soon as lamp goes down, break it. Okay, let's reload. Yeah. In fairness, two of you looking at it is good enough. You shouldn't really commit Coalescence to kill a lamp, but you did anyway. So, yeah, watch this fight play out. Wait, they use Bongo. That's big. Next. The Bongo is killable. I like how Mac knows this. Next, if a Bongo gets thrown down in front of you, kill the Bongo before you look at anyone, because the Bongo is something like is it 25% more damage or something? It's whatever it is. It's heavy damage coming from the whole of the enemy team. Not only is that, but to point out as well, they're using Valkyrie, so they're probably getting an extra 40% damage boost if she uses damage boost. So they're probably doing about 40% more damage. To highlight that to you, a melee is 30 damage. Zenyatta's new buffed kick does 50% more damage, and it does 45 damage, so it does an extra 15 damage. So realistically, a melee in this situation would probably do about 40 damage. Doesn't sound like much, but melee is weak. Something like a shot from a soldier does 20 damage. One single bullet from a soldier does 20 damage, or 19 now. That means he's going to be doing something like 30 damage a bullet. 30 to 40 damage a bullet. That's scary. If you've ever seen Soldier at 20 damage a bullet, he melts. If you've seen Sojourn gameplay, she does 9 damage a bullet. But she shoots fast, and that's the hard thing to calculate. You have to realise that actually those bullets are coming at you quick. There's a lot of bullets coming at you quick. So that Bongo going out quick earlier probably would have saved you there next, because you're not also in the face of an Orisa with a Bongo damage boost and a Mercy damage boost as well. Although I think she's healing, yeah. It's a shit battle, by the way. You should win this fight. But no. I don't know where Armflux went. Yeah, that's a fight you should have won. But you don't win them all. They did a good job. They commit ults. They commit Bongo. They commit Supercharger, Valkyrie, and Supercharger, Valkyrie, and Bob. Wow, to think I couldn't think of the word Bob. Yeah. Oh, balls. My bad. Right. I like this. This is a fast engage. I like this. I like the jumping. I like the taking the high ground. I hope you stabilize now. When I say that, I mean I want to see you waiting for your monkey bubble to come off cooldown. You tap healing. I don't know what you're doing down here, but tap to heal. And yeah, you've got monkey bubble. You use beat to go in. I like that. I like the target focus from you, Chimps. This is where the issue is again. You use beat to engage. You used bomb, and you used Death Blossom, and you used Primal. 4 ults in one fight is a lot of ults. It won you the fight, but realistically, I don't think the Primal was needed. I don't know if the bomb was needed, considering I did use bomb, right? Yeah. Sorry, I just coughed straight into the mic. Yeah, I don't think you needed to use that many ults, and I'm going to put it down to communication and struggling to make a plan. These two die here because Chimps is on them. If Mac had a mech, he should have been with them as well, getting them killed. They should die. How did the Ash is here and he got the kill onto Mac? What? I also like that you came from different angles. I like that Chimps came from this angle, and Nex is engaging at the same time with him here. But, once again, this is what I mean about your engagement timings. Chimps is here. Where are the rest of you? Nex is the closest. Nex is doing the best job out of all of you. Mac... Oh, wait. So is it Unflux. Unflux is there. But he's just landed. B has been dropped all the way back there, but Saren... I know you want to heal up Mac, but he doesn't really give a shit, does he? I'm assuming that's, again, Mac not comment that he's bombed. There's no comms here about ultimates, is the problem in this fight. Chimps, what I would say, when you landed here, you didn't look at the Baptiste. You were looking for the Ashe and the Mercy. You can get, if you tickle that Baptiste, the Ashe and Mercy can live. Ashe and Mercy, actually no, I don't know why I'm picking you up on that. Ignore me. That's fine. That's unfortunate, dying to the bomb, and then you push cart. Another issue here is, I mean, it's probably because Mac died to some random shot, but your cart wasn't pushed very far, and so you were taking this fight where they can still come in now. When if it was here, you've won. You've won this point. You've now got to take another fight. That's really nice positioning, Chimps. Mac, I don't know what you're doing here, but no, that's not in fairness. What the fuck? He gets burnt. Mac, I won't. I'll stop bullying you. I'm sorry. This is nice positioning, jumping up here, but I wouldn't engage until I have another jump out. So you drop down too early. Is the problem. Sitting up here is really clever though, because you are just by standing here, threatening. This is not a good place to drop though. You could walk along here and drop onto the Ashe, and then also you've got your jump. So yeah, I wouldn't drop off the high ground unless you have jump in this situation, because you just get melted, and you have no cooldowns to help you. You have nothing to get you out. You are dead. DM is there. A little too late, but he gets absolutely bursted. 2 kills from Nex. I like that. Their D.Va is doing a good job of pushing up and taking the high ground, but realistically you should be able to clutch this fight. I hope. Okay, never mind. Their baby D.Va has killed them. Nex is going to have to get the touch, but he's not going to. Nobody gets a touch, right? Oh wait, no, Nex gets the touch. Okay. You get the touch. Hunting for the Baptiste. I like this, Chimps. Look at the Mercy. Nice. They've got no supports. Really, really well played this fight. Chimps, on Monkey, you're always going for the backline. Always. Every single time, go for the backline. Never, fully ignore the tanks. They're not your problem. Backline first. If you just keep jumping onto that backline over and over again, the tanks and everything else is the other team's, the rest of your team's job. If you're tickling their backline isn't healing their tanks, and their tanks are going to go down anyway. But most likely the backline's going to die first. That's how Monkey plays in a dive comp. Zombie comp, but yeah, I expect you. I hope you play that because I want to see some zombie on this map. Zombie is hard to play on this map. You just win because they can't. They can't. Here, Max, they can't. Either Mac or Abra stands on cart. I don't. Oh, Abra and yeah. Okay, here I like that you're hunting for kills. Actually, just be conscious of where your respawns are. Is the thing I'll say, because you're now stood here and you're pressuring this position, but you're down 2 players, and you've managed to get 2 up, but yeah, it's still down 2 players. Saren has had to drop. Nice little heal roll. Drops though. Yeah, fully, you can just keep jumping this position. Chimps, you can easily... I'm watching you do it. You're already on it. You're already on it. Stand here. What I would say is, though, you're probably not going to do it. Oh, no, you are. You did it. Yeah, wait for them to come through, because you see the cleave you got on that jump alone. 78% right here. Look, 79, you're about 80%. The cleave you're getting here gives you primal. You've got primal when you land. You got 20% in that jump alone. That is a beautiful jump. And the primal probably wins this fight, because you should be able to jump off the edge. That's just on bomb. You got the copy bomb though. And you got the actual bomb. A lot of bolts coming out, but oh, I like it. I like the double bomb. Now you're cleaning up point. Okay, this is where you've gone wrong. And I want to find out where, because there's no way they should be able to bring this back. You've managed to kill their Baptiste and their Ashe with the bomb. Who overcommits? Who isn't doing their job? Okay. Their Diva bombs point. Bit unexpected, but you should be able to survive this. Yep. Okay, Matt gets demech. Abra just okay. Abra on the Zen. I don't think you should be on Zen here at all, ever. With Monkey, Zen just doesn't work. You're better off either switching to a Brig if you want to run a dive, or staying on the Lucio. So yeah, I don't know if it was a call that was made to switch, but yeah. Just play around these boxes. And a little trick. You probably know it, but you don't use it. I guarantee you nobody uses it. Guarantee you nobody uses this. This is a really good position. You can jump up onto this box, especially like an attack. If you manage to get them to this like area where you are forcing them to have a fight here, playing on these boxes or around these boxes is really powerful. Because when they're just on point, you're here. They're going to struggle to take care of you if you're stood here as Zenyatta. Yeah, they've got the visor on high ground, but realistically, you play around this corner, you see somebody on high ground. If you're playing here, you see somebody on high ground, you back up and play around this area and try and fight the person on high ground first, because they're the most threat to you. And then here. The big problem with you on Zen here is also because you are stood on cart as Zenyatta. Zenyatta is the last person that needs to touch cart. You fully, on Zen, can be stood here. Or better, here. This is the best position you could have been stood in, Abra, when you came back. You came back on Zen as well, so you had the chance to take this position. I know you had chance to take this position, so if you're going to play Zen here, play it here. Yeah. Probably might lose this fight. They've popped Visor, they've got a Mercy Pocket. Unfuck's going to try and pull Heroics, but no, you've lost that fight. Honestly, it's because 3 of you were just stood on cart, not expecting them to touch. It was a really good fight. I like the Primal. Chimps probably fed a little with the Primal, but realistically, you shouldn't have been stood on cart. All 3 of you. Saren and Nex are fine on cart. Abra shouldn't have been stood on cart. Mac should have been on cart. Or when Chimps went in, Mac should have gone into this doorway and DM'd him while he's primaling. And then backed up onto cart. Yeah, it's all because I noticed, Saren, you used your fade to back out. If you're using your fade while stood on cart to get away, get away. Don't just think, oh, I'm going to use my fade to dodge this bomb. Think, okay, I'm going to use my fade to dodge this bomb, but where am I going? Because realistically, fading to dodge a bomb, if you just fade on the spot, the D.Va's gonna come up and fuck you up with no fade. You're scared. So realistically, at this point, fade to, I don't know, back here somewhere, and just try and take a distanced fight where Abra should also be further back, because then Nex also, he has his fast little legs, he can run away. I'm going really in depth on this map, I know as well, so I'm free to drop them in the chat because I will answer any questions you've got to the best of my ability, that is. Yeah, so Abra, I don't know why you dropped here. This is a dog shit position. You're dead. Yep. Big mistake there, Abra. Don't drop from high ground on Zen. I don't know why you did. It's just a mistake. You probably don't know why you did. Looked like there was no reason, but their D.Va did a really good job. And actually, Mac, you want to see a good D.Va dive? That's a really good D.Va dive. Because you see, let me go to their D.Va. This is a clever D.Va dive, by the way. Their D.Va really realised this. Their D.Va realised that you were sticking on high ground, went in, and this is how he did it. He went in with his micro missiles. He didn't get it cleanly because Abra managed the little corridor, but used those. I would have personally used the micro missiles when I was in range of Abra because it's easier to burst somebody down with micro missiles at close range than it is from further away. But he realised that you guys were rotating across the bridge and Abra had dropped. It could have been fully an accident. That also could have just happened. That's on me for not realising. I'm not picking you up on it at all. But if it was on purpose, don't do it. If it was an accident, it was an accident. Ignore what I said. Visor, I like the positioning, but they've used Bongo and Window now, and that's a nice Bongo position. Chimps, good job. Okay, Mac, you need to be looking at cart in this point. When it gets to an overtime fight, D.Va is the best at staying on cart because she's got a slow D-mech animation and all of that, and when she gets out of mech, she's actually smaller and harder to hit. Her mech, she's probably one of the most survivable tanks because she's got a DM, and if you use it right, you do it really well. So yeah, just watch for where Mac is. Yeah, this is the problem with running zombie on this map because Chimps is down there. Chimps is down there on his own. Mac's up there. The map doesn't work well for zombie, and also at this point you're not really playing it like zombie because you're playing the soldier echo rather than the reaper echo or something. And yeah, okay, you just don't touch, but you lose that anyway. So well done for Chimps finding that flank angle, but at the same time, I feel like Mac was kind of baited into going with you. You were all it looked like your plan was to go behind them, but you kind of got to think about what the other members of your team can do. So if you're running a zombie, you got to take into account where a Moira can get to with just one fade, and where a Lucio can get to, how well a Lucio can get there, and stuff like that. How well a Sombra or a Tracer or a Reaper can get to where you're going. It's something you've always got to take into account, because if you're diving somewhere where your Tracer needs to set up to get to, you need to tell them to set up there. You need to tell them to where you want to dive, and then say, Mac, or say not Mac, sorry, say Unflux, can you set up on this high ground? Can you set up here? Can you set up on the high ground? We're gonna dive high ground. Or realistically, you shouldn't need to say that. Unflux should. There you go, bit of DPS coaching for you. Nex or Unflux, you should go into it expecting where the dive is going to come out. If you're running a dive, you should come into it expecting the dive onto here. Because if you're set up to dive onto here, you're also set up to dive onto here or onto here. Work top down. And DPS need to be set up way better than tanks and supports, because tanks and supports generally don't need the mobility, and tanks definitely don't need the mobility when it comes to a dive comp. It's the DPS that usually are the hardest with when it comes to mobility. Okay, you're running a Recidiva here. I like this position. I also don't mind this position. Both are fine. This is a really good position for your Ashe. I want to see Unflux and Abra basically up here all the time. Mac also coming up here to peel for them. And I respect that they're running the mirror. And I hope you respect they're running the mirror. Because now you can play here. And the strength about this position, I hope you don't... Okay, you rotated. You can play this position. You can play in server. And it is a good position. Only problem is it then becomes like a really brawly fight. When you play better with a sniper. And realistically, if their Ashe pushes this high ground, when you're all stood here... And I say that like... she won't sneak up on you. She will fully sneak up on you because you won't be looking for her. When you play this position, it's powerful because you split off them. I think Mac can just hold this position. Mac just stands here. Mac, you can mark that Ashe. Eat her dynamites, make sure she doesn't take this high ground. And then shoot that way. And just keep checking. Just like, be stood here, sniping, DMing a little bit. Ah! Sniping, DM a bit. Boo. And yeah, she's not going to push into this room when you're here. Because if you're stood here and she pushes into this room, honestly, bait her. Bait her into the room. I say that and it doesn't mean much, but when I say bait her, I hope you know what I mean by just the camera movement I was making. Walk out the room. Stand here. When she gets here, she's fucked. You just walk at her with micro missiles, and if she uses coach gun, then you boost her. So save your boosters for after the coach gun. So you're traveling like a gap, but you can bait her into this position and then go on her and take her out. But still, you decide to rotate server. Nothing wrong with that. That's still fine. Mac, all I'd say there is just be looking at Sarin as she rotates, because I don't think she got hit, but she fully could have got hit by that Ashe, because the Ashe was stood in that doorway and Sarin was here. So just like look at her and DM her, no matter what. When you're rotating, look at your supports and DM them, because rotations are where your teams are usually the most vulnerable. And yeah, this fight now, you've got the low ground, so it's going to be a harder fight to win. I'd like to see Nex play over here. It's a weird position, but you get dove by a diva, you can run back to your team. You've got a mini pack there as well. I wouldn't recommend going to the mini pack, just play in this doorway. A big thing about positioning, bringing it back from before, knowing your retreat routes. Your retreat route here is back up here. And your retreat route from here is going the high ground, honestly. And that's actually that's a good thing for Unflux going this high ground. But probably after this fight. This fight has gone very... Yeah. I think that's because you gave up the high ground. You didn't need to give it up. Because where the Ashe is now is where you could be. And she could not be there if you were there. So, yeah. Becomes quite a brawly fight because you get the res off onto chimps. Get the Baptiste, hopefully. Nice rotation from Unflux, but where's his mercy? Oh, she's dead? Is Abra dead? No, Abra just didn't get the memo. Where the hell is Abra? Stood with Nex. Abra, look at your Ashe. Unflux, communicate your rotations when you're on Ashe, so that your mercy can go with you. Because this is turning more and more into a winnable fight. Where is Nex? There. That's a beautiful position. Somebody needs to touch that. That's a really nice position, Nex. I like this. I like this pincer that you've set up. You should hopefully win this fight now. I say hopefully with a Ninja Salt, because clearly it's very back and forth, but you should win this fight. That was a really nice pincer maneuver from your DPS. Your DPS brought that back for you, well played. Yeah. Okay, let's have a... Saren, no. I'm... It doesn't even look like I'm looking at you, but I was looking. I see the whole screen at one time. No. I know you want to hunt for the kill, but don't jump onto the box. Play round the box. Play here. Because if you get headshot there, you're dead. You get headshot, she can unscope shot you. You get headshot here, you can just duck here. It's quicker. It's so much quicker to do that than it is to do that. I can't really signify to do that. It's so much quicker just to back up behind the box. That's the big fit. That's the aggressive positioning that you were worried about. You were right. That is an aggressive position there. It might pay off because you might get the kill, and realistically you got Mac there as well, but you didn't need to stand on the box. Stand here, because it does make you vulnerable. Just remember that if you've always got something either to the left of you or the right of you, you're safe. If you can like move to the left and see a bit of cover on your screen, you're safe, basically. Or I say that basic. That's extremely basic. But like, yeah, I'll point it out here. This little box here, you can see these three playing around it. Abra, I'd like to see you just crouched in this doorway because you got no reason to. Oopsies. You got no reason to be stood here. Just crouch in this doorway. Honestly, the best thing about Mercy is I hate her, but I know how to play her, and so watch Moth. Moth on. Oh. I will tell you why we do. Okay, that's Nepal. I'll yeah, that's fair enough. Holding close and then pulling it off poorly. No, it's not fair. You called to hold close and you didn't hold close, and you still pulled it off poorly. But even that on that map, calling close is. Never mind. We're on this map now. 2 minutes 21 still to go, which is probably about another 20 minutes. So I'm surprised any of you are still around. Yeah, Abra, in this position, just stand here. You can stand here and crouch. You, at all cost, do not want to see the enemy, because if you can see the enemy, they can see you, and you're on Mercy. So I do hope you just stand here. And I know it's like kind of like a Lucio feeling or a Zen feeling. Like, I know you'll play Lucio, Zen and Brig where you do want to kind of see the enemies and know where they are. On Mercy, you can know where they are without seeing them, and you should know where they are without seeing them. It's a skill, and it will make you much better at Mercy instantly, just by not looking at the enemies. Every time you play Mercy from now on, even if you hate the character, don't look at the enemies. Don't let them see you. Because as soon as you go into their line of sight, you're their first target. Mercy is the first target for most compositions, because her res is just OP. I like the position from Mac here. I like that position. I like that you're holding this blue box. This blue box is extremely powerful. So you can also really play this box very, very well. Because you can drop down and you can stand here and it's really hard for them to shoot you, and you can still get healed. And then you can fly up, contest it, and you can also stand here and contest it and still get healed and break off line of sight of half of them. This is a really good position, and I hope you stay in it, which it does look like you do. See, I'm not saying you don't know how to play D.Va. You know how to play D.Va. You know the good positions. It's just tiny mistakes here and there that build together that make it a struggle for you to play D.Va. You do know how to play the character, you just don't know how to play the character. It's just little things. DM distance, engagement timings and stuff like that. It's just really small things. That's a nice early pick. And you're running Orisa. I like that you're contesting cart as well. And Unflux went off, okay. The bomb on the high ground. I like chimps on this position, but I think chimps should be dropping. Yeah, good. Abra, stick with... Abra, no. Abra, no. Abra, no. No. Bad. Bad. Bad, Mercy! You're on Mercy! Mercy, do not tank. Do not tank hug. Abra and Saren need to swap position. Please. Thank you. Saren, you need... I can see you going down. Saren needs to be on the low ground. I don't know why you've left Unflux. Unflux was hitting shots on Ash. I know you might have wanted to heal Chimps, but realistically, if Chimps goes crit, you can heal him for the tiniest amount of time and then leave him be. Get him just below fine, just below half health. As long as Saren's alive, he's not your problem. I want you to be looking for healing. First is Saren. That's the first person you heal. If you go to heal your Baptiste in this comp as Mercy, tell Unflux, cool, I'm healing Bap. Nobody else can make that call other than Mercy. Realistically, in this composition, if somebody hears that call and thinks, maybe Nex has put his heal pad down, they're wrong. You make the call, they perceive it. What they perceive is not your problem. If you're making the call and they perceive it correctly, your call is perfect. Your call has helped you win that fight, basically. Because Unflux then knows that you are healing the BAP. He knows that he's not got the pocket. It gives Unflux a lot more information on how he should be playing and how his playstyle should be changed. And so he will play around cover a lot more, and if he falls low, he'll walk to his team rather than expecting you to fly to him. I'd hope. So yeah, little tips. Heal your Baptiste first. Baptiste is the first person you want to heal. Then your DPS. Firstly, your pocket DPS. Secondly, your other DPS. In this case, I would honestly leave Unflux alone. I'd heal up Saren and pocket Nex, because Nex is popping Visor, and a damage boosted Visor is always going to do the most work. Focus your damage boost onto people. If your other DPS is ulting, like if you've got a soldier, use your damage boost on the ulting soldier. I don't see why not. He's going to do extra damage. He's going to do more damage than Unflux is. If Unflux hits all of his shots, not nano, but damage boosted Visor is probably going to do more damage in total than Unflux with a pocket in this whole fight. So it's a small thing. It's a really small thing. Other than the healing your BAP and calling, I'm healing BAP. Don't have to shout it. Don't have to make sure everybody hears it. You just have to say it loud enough so that it's a call. Just say it. And if they don't hear it, that's their problem, not yours, because you said it. Yeah, healing your BAP and calling it. Sorry, I've said it 4 times now. We'll watch this fight come out. I like this window. Really, really nice window. You're giving double heals. I'm talking it, but I can see that you know it. And it's nice to see that you know it. You can give double heals to these two, and you can deal the double damage. What this D.Va's doing here, I have no idea, and I hope next turns. I hope that somebody turns and look. Where the fuck is Mac? Oh, Mac's dead. How did Mac die? Oh yeah, he loses Mac to bomb. That is a mistake, Mac. DPS mind, once again, you just... Oh, not DPS mind, but that is Zarya mind. You just want to kill the BAP. You see him low, you're like, kill! He's in immortality. Take a step back, shoot the immortality, look where your team is as well. At the start of this fight, you should have known your team was set up here. So, realistically, you want to be hiding as much as you can. You can't peek that. With no Orisa, no BAP, nothing. With nothing, really, you can't peek this too much. So you can peek it, but just not for long. So he's got the lamp there. You want to kill him, but the lamp's going to go down anyway. And also, is that my... I hope I don't get stuck. Yeah, watch this fight. Throw in Bob. Bob is in a that is a bad position. So I'm assuming you know this on Flux, but I'm going to say it anyway. In this kind of a fight, Bob is really, really good in a position where they're forced to turn and look at him. Throwing him at them is shit. This is what you've done here. You've not done it thinking about where Bob's going. When you use Bob, you either have to, in this situation, you know you need to take a step to the left and throw Bob down there and support your fire, or I'd recommend taking a step this way and throwing Bob near these bins, throwing him over here, creating a crossfire. Because if Bob stands here, he's shooting onto their back line. He's doing that anyway, but he's doing it from over there. It's just either a really unfortunate Bob or just not a well thought out Bob. Okay, that's their window. That's our window. Nice windows. Nice window from you guys. Your window's much better. Abra, just hug the ground. I know it's really easy to fly too high on Mercy, but at the same time here, you weren't pocketing necks on Visor. You were healing him. Nice that you healed Sarin. Pop Valk, but it's where you're flying with your Valk that makes you vulnerable. They've got the window. That's how you die. You're just flying in front of a window. I'm assuming you've got your... Yeah, you've got your... what's it called? At this point, you've left... for so long. You get the heal off, pop the Valk, immediately, yeah, you're scared of that D.Va, and I wouldn't have been. Just don't be scared of a D.Va on her own in your backline, because she's not really going to do much if there's like 4 people stood next to you. Yeah. Okay, so, probably still win this fight, because Unflux has got 3 kills here, and it was a well fought fight for you guys. Well done. I did manage to pull a lot of coaching out of that one fight though. I'll find coaching anywhere. You can play the best game of Overwatch ever, and I will find a way to give you coaching. Okay, it's cool. It's 20 to 8. Jesus. Okay. So I'm just going to let it run through now, and if I think of anything, I'm not going to pause, because we should probably finish this fairly soon. Any questions, just, once again,
60 seconds
don't be afraid to drop them in the chat. I don't mind.
Cease your resistance.
That's a good bongo position for them. Nice bomb. I like the bomb in response. The bomb cancels the bongo, and it forces positioning, and that's why the BAP and the Orisa died there. That's a good bomb. You could have probably landed it around here, but that's just a small thing with D.Va. That's a beautiful bomb, and you've used, I mean, you didn't need the bongo. Yeah, you used bongo. You probably didn't need the bongo, but you used it anyway. But yeah, well played fight. And you've got Bob again already. You literally used it the last fight.
30 seconds remaining.
Okay, they've switched to the Reinhardt. You should just win this. I hope you win this, because Reinhardt is just matchup. They have to rotate. Don't know why they want to take this high ground, because that Reinhardt is just going to drop down and die. They should lose this. And I hope they do. Bob is shit. What is that? I mean, they TP across, but still throwing Bob on the low ground around here in this fight is better. Oh, actually, yeah, you could throw Bob just plainly to contest cart. You could throw Bob plainly to stand on cart. It distracts their D.Va. It means Mac can stand with you guys. The window, the angle's good. I don't know if you realised this when you put it down. You probably didn't, because it was facing the other way, but the angle's really good, because you can then back up into this and use it. And I hope you do. Yeah, that's a big dynamite, fucking hell. I did say I wasn't going to rewind it anymore, but I want to see the dynamite. This is a dynamite thrown onto... Okay, I see what you were aiming for now. That's a really nice dynamite, really nice coach gun. Unflux played really well there. There you go, that's why you won that fight. Unflux, mainly the carry for you on this defense. I'm not gonna lie. On the Ash, he did a lot of work on that Ash on the defense.
Victory.
Didn't carry the map. On the attack, he was doing dog shit, but on the defense, really well played from Unflux. Yeah. Any questions? Just stick them in team chat and give me a ping. And yeah, I'll I'll go rest my voice. But yeah, that was fun. And I'd like to see you guys improve. Just the little pickups from that map, Abra. I could see you healing your back first, so I know you know that. If you do leave your Ash, call it. I don't know if you do. Just saying it. Mac, don't be too aggressive on D.Va. D.Va's not that an aggressive of a character. She works better being passive, especially in a double, or not in a double. In an Orisa comp, the D.Va wants to be the passive character. She waits for the aggression and then deals with it. You're playing D.Va for her DM to eat cooldowns. So you're looking for that dynamite, you're looking for the helix rockets, you're looking for micro missiles, you're looking for a pull. That's what you're looking to eat. Basically not using DM for anything else other than making sure your supports are staying alive while they rotate. With the contesting high ground, you did a really good job of contesting high ground and contesting cart on that defense. When they TP'd onto you, just a really good fight in general. Nice dynamite put down, and they just TPing onto someone is just the worst thing you can do. So never do that. You TP close to them and then speed onto them. You don't TP onto them because you just get melted, like you just saw them get melted. On the attack, don't run zombie. Run a dive, learn a dive. I'd rather see you run a dive and make mistakes than run a zombie and struggle, because it was hard to watch. But it also meant I got to give you a bit of coaching on zombie. But also a lot of the coaching I gave you on the attack was dive centric and like around that kind of double shield kind of composition, because double shield comp works pretty well on dive maps as well. But yeah, anyway, 2 new maps that I've gone through with you as well, so there we go. I will end it, so yeah, talk to you in team chat.